In today's lecture, we are going to talk about cell theory. We all know that cell is the basic unit of the life. The body of every organism is made up of the one or the many types of the cells. So cell is the basic unit in which all the metabolic functions of organism takes place for the survival, which are required for the survival of any organism. So before we start the cell theory, we need to know about the discovery of the cell. In 1965, there was a scientist named as Robert Hooke. He published a book which is called as Micrographia. Micrographia is a book which contains graphical representation of organisms observed by Robert Hooke under microscope. So first in 1965, the Robert Hooke he published a book Micrographia, and that book contains the graphical representation of all the organisms or the cells of the organisms which are observed by the Robert Hooke under the recently discovered microscope. The microscope was recently discovered at that time. So firstly Robert Hooke observed cord cell of the plants. Cord cells are the specific cells of the plants which are part of the secondary growth of the plant. Firstly, he observed cord cells of plants under microscope, and he observed compartment-like or box-shaped structure. He observed the box-shaped structure under the microscope when he placed the cord cells of the plant under the microscope, and he come to know that there are a certain box-like structure or the compartment-like structure which are responsible for some sort of the life. He observed that these structures are responsible for the multiplication of the body of the entire organism. Later, he named those box-shaped cell structures or the compartment-shaped structures as cell, and he found that the cell is the something which is responsible for the for maintaining the life of the any organism. And this discovery of the cell led to the formation of classical cell theory. And classical cell theory has certain postulates or the certain points we will discuss in this lecture. So classical cell theory, later there are further two scientists, Tudor and the Schwann. Tudor and the Schwann, the further two scientists, they work on the cell and they come with the certain postulates of the cell theory. So cell was discovered by the Robert Hooke, and classical cell theory discovered by later two scientists, Tudor and Shawan, on the basis of their own observations, and they gave the certain postulates of the cell theory, which are the following. The first postulate was cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Because cell contains all multiple activities which are necessary for the survival of any organism, and number of cells they unite together to form the structure of any organism. So the first postulate of the cell theory was cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. The second postulate was all organisms, or the body of the all organisms, made up of one or more cells. Body of organisms may be made up of one cell or may be made up of more than one cells. Like if the organisms like prokaryotes, previous organisms, they are made up of only one cell, they are eukaryotes. And if the body of the organism is made up of more than one cell or the many cells, then the such organisms are called as prokaryotes or the multicellular organisms. The third postulate of the classical cell theory was new cells arise from or originate from pre-existing cells by the process of cell division. What does it mean? That every cell is formed from the previously present cell or the pre-existing cells by the process of the cell division. By the process of the cell division, one cell divides into the two daughter cells, and those two daughter cells again will divide into the other two cells. So this is how the multiplication of the cells will take place. Right. So these are the points, these are the 3 points of the 3 postulates of the classical cell theory given by the Tudor and the Shawan. But there are nowadays there are some 3 additional points are also included in the cell theory which make the classical cell theory as modern or the advanced cell theory. With the advancement of the technology and due to the new observations, there are three additional points which are included in the classical cell theory, which make the classical cell theory as modern cell theory on the basis of new observations or on the basis of the advancement of the technology. Modern cell theory is proposed now, and modern cell theory, it contains 3 additional postulates. So total it contains 6 postulates, 3 previous and the 3 new postulates. The previous postulate I am not going to write them before again. I am just going to write the points of the modern cell theory which are new points. The first point of the modern cell theory is genetic material of any organism is passed from cell to cell or from generation to generation during cell division. The second point would be cells of the similar species are structurally and functionally same. That if the species are same, that their cells may be structurally and functionally similar. And the finally or the last point of the modern cell theory is energy flow occur between cells. Like energy flow can be occur between the cells by the process of respiration, in which larger compounds break down into the smaller compounds to give energy to the cell. So these 3 points along with the previous points of the classical cell theory make up the modern cell theory, which contains the 6 postulates. Okay. Cell may be of the 2 types, prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell are the previous cell or the cells which are found in the previous life or in the simpler organisms, while the eukaryotic cell is the advanced type of the cell. The main difference between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cell is that prokaryotic cells do not possess a special organized or the membrane bounded nucleus, while the eukaryotic cells they contain a organized or the membrane bounded nucleus. Like in case of the eukaryotic cell, the nucleus is a membrane bounded and it has a particular shape. Now I am going to talk about the certain components which are present in the previous, which are absent in the previous cells, like the prokaryotic cells, like bacterial cells, and now they are present in the advanced type of the cells like eukaryotic cells. So what are those components which were absent before and present now? We will see in this lecture. The first component, cell wall. Cell wall, it was present in the prokaryotes, in the bacteria or the prokaryotes or the other microorganisms. Cell wall was present, and the eukaryotic cells, it is absent in animal cells. Cell wall is absent in the animal cells and present in plant cells in case of prokaryotic, in case of eukaryotic cells. Okay. The second component is nucleus. Nucleus in the prokaryotes is not bounded by nuclear membrane. While in case of the eukaryotes, well organized, membrane bounded nucleus is found. Cytoskeleton. Cytoskeleton basically is a a complex dynamic network of the interlinking protein filaments present in the cytoplasm of the all cells. Cytoplasm is a dynamic network of the interlinking proteins which is present in the cytoplasm or the viscous portion. This is the cell and this is the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm there is a network of the interlinking protein which is called as the cytoskeleton. And what is the function of the cytoskeleton? The function of the cytoskeleton is to maintain the particular or the definite shape of the cell. So the cytoskeleton, it was absent in the prokaryotes or the earlier cells. It was absent in the prokaryotes while present in eukaryotes. Now another component of the cell which is called as the Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus also called as Golgi complex. And what is the function of the Golgi apparatus? The function of the Golgi apparatus is the packing of the proteins which are formed in the cell. Golgi apparatus basically function for the packing of the protein before they move to their destination. So the function of the Golgi apparatus is the packing of the protein before they approach to their destination. So Golgi apparatus, this organelle was absent in the eukaryotes and it is present in the prokaryotes. So now by this difference you can see the prokaryotes are the simpler while the eukaryotes are the advanced type of the cell. Okay, the other cellular organelle, lysosomes. Lysosomes, they are the cellular organelles which is a membrane bounded organelle that contain a digestive enzyme. Lysosomes are the membrane bounded organelle. They contain the enzymes which are responsible for the breakdown or for the digestion, and their main function is to destroy the invading viruses and bacteria. They function as an immune cell. They destroy the invading viruses and bacteria. And the lysosome were absent in the prokaryotes and it is present in the eukaryotes. Another cellular organelle which is called as ribosomes. The ribosomes are the structures of the organelles which are responsible for the formation of the protein. Ribosomes are called as the factory of the protein. Ribosomes were present in the prokaryotes and they are present in the eukaryotes as well. They are present in both because the protein is an essential requirement of every organism, while it is prokaryote or either it is prokaryote or eukaryote. Right? The mitochondria. The second important organelle of the cell is the mitochondria. Mitochondria is also called as the powerhouse of the cell. It is called as powerhouse of cell because it is involved in the formation of the ATP. And what is ATP? ATP is the energy currency of the cell. So mitochondria, it was absent in the prokaryotes and present in the eukaryotic cell. Vacuoles. Another important cellular organelle which is found in plant cell. It is mainly found in the plant cell, vacuole present in the plant cell, and their function is storage of water. Their function is storage of water. And the vacuole were absent in prokaryotes and present in eukaryotes. Chloroplasts, which are found in the plants, and they have the pigment chlorophyll, which is responsible for the capturing of the light energy in the process of the photosynthesis. They were present in the some cells. They were present in the some prokaryotic cells. They were present in few, you can say few prokaryotic cells. Like algae. While eukaryotic, in the case of the eukaryotic, it is present only in plant cells and absent in animal cells. Right? Another important cellular organelle which is called as endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is an important cellular organelle and it is also involved in the protein formation, and it was absent in the prokaryotes and present in eukaryotes. So these are the certain differences which are on the basis of the certain components, either they are present or absent in particular type of the cell. So this is how you can differentiate between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell.